magazines. On the left, I have the November 2025 issue of Edge magazine, which is a gaming magazine. And on the right, I have this Nintendo magazine, which came free with it. To be honest, I think it's like mostly marketing, but I thought it would be nice to have a look inside regardless. So in this video, you'll hear whispered commentary from me. You'll also hear Apple Pencil sounds and some general paper sounds as we go through the magazines together. So, I think we'll start with Edge. So I'll move this Nintendo magazine to the side. So this Edge magazine, this is the November 2025 issue, number 415, and it costs £6.95. And the cover is, as you can see, Battlefield 6. I'm gonna be honest, I don't tend to play these types of games, but I thought it would be interesting to flip through nonetheless and see what's inside. So, on the front cover, we have the logo, Edge, E, D, G, E, the future of entertainment. And then we have a soldier on this, like, I guess, Battlefield always has this, like, light effect, like a light bleed or a light leak. And it says Battlefield 6. So that's BATTLEFIELD. The inside story of EA's bunker busting return to duty. I guess that's like a little throwing shade a bit, like Call of Duty, Return to Duty. Obviously they're competitors in the video game industry. Plus Resident Evil 9, okay, that one I'm pretty interested in. The art of the modern remake, Ninja Gaiden 4, 2XKO's journey to the big league. It's quite a matte paper, but it does sound nice. Okay, so on the left we have like various symbols on a white background. On the right we have our introduction, which says, turns out devaluing games might be bad, who knew? So I'm going to guess, without reading anything, that this is going to be about Microsoft Game Pass, which is a sort of, I guess, a game rental service, but it's been quite controversial since the very start. And I imagine this is going to be addressing that. Let's see. There's so much offering in Game Pass. Yeah, there we go. Exactly what I thought. So we'll skip over this. So here we have the contents page. So on the left it says Games, Games, terms of these, I think hype is games that aren't out yet, and then play is games that are out. We've got on the right sections S, E, C, T, I, O, N, S, sections. November 2025, and the categories are knowledge, dispatches, and features. And then across these pages we have characters from different franchises. So, I don't know his name, but this is the protagonist from Ninja Gaiden 4. 88. Okay, so this must be the protagonist of Mafia, the Old Country. I don't know what that is. That doesn't look like a character to me. Might be a company logo. Up here we have potentially the protagonist from Shinobi Art of Vengeance. We have like a dinosaur holding a gun, which is kind of funny. And I have no idea what this is from, but I love it. Down here we have, I think, a character from Battlefield 6. And then on the right, a character from League of Legends. And then there's like a character down here that I don't recognize. Okay. On the left we have the credits. And on the right we have an ad for PC Specialist. It says made to order, made for you. At last, a computer made just for you. With PC Specialist, you can pick the parts you need and we'll build a custom PC or laptop to suit your work, play, or everyday life. Whether it's blazing fast speed or top-notch graphics, simply choose your style and we'll do the rest. It's the modern way to buy a machine. Visit pcspecialist.co.uk today. The UK's favourite system builder. And then there's like this little computer with legs. Quite cute little mascot. And a woman pointing at the made to order sign. And then a laptop and a PC tower, which has nice wood paneling at the front. Built to order, UK-based support delivered to your door. And apparently you can get an exclusive £15 discount. This isn't sponsored, by the way, so I'm just gonna keep going. Okay, so this article is about there was like a really big story over the summer around payment processors restricting which games were allowed to be sold, essentially, and I think that's still ongoing, so yeah. Here we have Jack to the Future. What's in the box? The 11th will be the first party pack with completely new games, although 4 fall into familiar genres with something for everyone. So Jackbox is like a party game, essentially, and oftentimes you use your phone as the controller, which is obviously really useful because you don't need to have like 8 controllers or whatever. This is a lot of fun when I was in university, but I haven't played it so much since. Cracking the Code, how experimental game specialist Alex Johansson is bringing telegraphy to the masses with Morse. And on the right we have this, I guess a screenshot showing the video game and some people shown playing it at a conference. At a typical game event, Johansson says there's plenty of variety in what you see on screen. But given the absurd amounts people pay to have booths at these events, why would you settle for something as dull as a mouse and keyboard? That's That's an interesting way of looking at it. Model of virtue. Solving crime in this miniature village may be a bigger job than it seems. It's like a 2-page spread showing, I guess, the video game, which looks really interesting, like wooden figures almost, or like a miniature. NPCs such as Sleepy Samuel here, I guess that's him, might not spill the beans until you complete certain quests. You may also need to switch between day and night to access different locations, or solve puzzles to find pieces of the bell. Sound bites, game commentary, and snack-sized mouthfuls. Oh, these are some interesting quotes. I'm not going to read them out. We have an ad for Kingdom Flames of War, an endless open-world mobile MMORPG. One world, endless competition. This month on Edge, some of the other things on our minds when we weren't doing everything else. And then there's a list of experiment, video, game, book, and an ad for Corgi. I don't know what that is. Maybe a toy company. There's like a pink plastic car, some rockets. Oh, it's like Thunderbirds. Okay. Yeah, it says right up here. Oops. THUNDERBIRDS. Thunderbirds. Dispatches November. Okay, I guess this is like reader letters. Dispatch perspectives. Trigger happy. And then an ad for, I can't even read this, so that's not great, but I think it says 9 rounds rapid, lost in space, on the run, on the hunt, and then like a cyborg or something. The Outer Limits. And then an ad for Edge's weekly industry newsletter called Knowledge. K-N-O-L-E-D. No. K-N-O-W-L-E-D-G-E. That's like a cute play on words, because obviously the magazine is called Edge. And then Knowledge. Okay, so this is the hype section. H-Y-P-E. And this covers these games. So that's Ninja Gaiden 4, Resident Evil Requiem, that's Resident Evil 9, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, not heard great things about that one unfortunately. Battlestar Galactica Scattered Hopes, Industria 2, Dosa Divas, Fatekeeper, Divas, Dosa Divas, Fatekeeper, Once Upon a Katamari, Monster Hunter Stories 3, Twisted Reflection, Nutmeg, a deck building retro football manager, Earth vs. Mars, Well Dweller, Octopath Traveler 0, Goodnight Universe, Tropico 7, and The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales. That's interesting. I believe, like, Octopath Traveler 0 and The Adventures of Elliot are by, like, the same developer, or very close to it. Blood in, blood out. The beginning of our trip into Resident Evil Requiem has us feeling a little disoriented. Protagonist Grace is bound and hanging upside down. Oh. Doesn't sound good. So we have here Ninja Gaiden 4, N-I- So the protagonist of 4 is called Yakumo. Yakumo is a rookie in the Hayabusa clan. His armor blends ninja lines with futuristic tech, while his movements signal a warrior testing the limits of his skill. Look at the detail on this sword. I know it's just a render, but it really is amazing how detailed modern video games are. Okay. On the left we have some screenshots from Ninja Gaiden 4, and then on the right we have a write-up. Another write-up on the left, and some more screenshots on the right. And now, Resident Evil Requiem, or Resident Evil 9. RESIDENTEVILREQUIEM. Resident Evil Requiem. And then the caption is, "It doesn't take a village." Which is a pun, because Resident Evil 8 is a pun, it's a joke. Resident Evil 8 was called Village. I enjoyed Resident Evil 8. I played that before I played Resident Evil 4, so it felt more original to me than I think it actually was. Because my understanding is that, well, not my understanding, my opinion, having played Resident Evil 8 and then Resident Evil 4, is that 8 is so similar. It almost feels like an homage, but it's within their own franchise. So, yeah, a little strange, but I did enjoy both of the games. So here we have a big close-up of Grace, the protagonist of Resident Evil 9. Grace is something of a legacy hero. Her mother Alyssa was a playable character in 2003's RE Outbreak. I didn't know that. That's interesting. She has very light, maybe bleached, or maybe it's just naturally almost white hair. And again, like the level of detail. The level of detail is just incredible. Okay. So here we have a 2-page spread, which is a mix of screenshots and a write-up. Next we have Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. VAMPIRE-VITTHREE-DHEMASQUEUERADLINES 2. That was a long one. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. The Chinese Room sequel brings the fire. And on the right we have a full-page image of, I guess, the protagonist. The Chinese Room refers to Bloodlines 2's dual protagonists as a kind of odd couple. Fire is powerful, with a deadly reputation, and Fabian playful. It allows the writers to create a serious narrative with a touch of pulpy fun. I'm gonna be honest, like, the art does look really cool to me, and I love vampires. So maybe one day I'll pick this one up. But from the people I know who played it, they said it wasn't all that, it wasn't maybe worth rushing out to get. at launch, but who knows? I know they're still improving it with patches and things, so maybe it will be worth it. We have a 2-page screenshot and write-up spread, and a 2-page write-up about Battlestar Galactica Scattered Hopes. A 2-page write-up about Industria 2. Dosa Divas. The art looks pretty interesting on that one. And then like a whole bunch of games crammed into this one page. We have an ad to subscribe to Edge. And then I guess from here we have another contents page. So this is issue 415. Video game culture, development, people, and technology. Okay, so that character we saw earlier underneath the contents was from, I guess, the game Expelled. And I'm still no the wiser about who this dinosaur is, so I think I'm gonna go to page 82 and find out. Here's our stuff about Battlefield. That's a lot of info. Oh, wait, sorry, I saw Sephiroth. Just needed to point that out. Okay, I'm not seeing this dinosaur with a gun, but I live in hope. Yeah, there it is. I don't know why it's so appealing to me. What does it say? Strange scaffold sillier games are often exactly what they say on the tin. This is a redneck dinosaur. Okay. So we've got a redneck dinosaur. Co-op kaiju horror cooking. I am your beast. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Truckun is supporting me from another world. And Space World Organ Trading Simulator. Okay, and now we have some, these are some reviews. Okay, I'm just gonna skip to the end. Oh, let's see, what did they give DragX Drive? A 5? Oh, dope. Okay. It came from the desert. CinemaWare's B-movie homage pushed the vision of interactive cinema to new heights. Okay, my dog yawning behind me. She sounds very relaxed. And that's the end of the magazine. And on the back we have this yellow print and a skull logo and a diamond and a black stripe. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the Nintendo one. Okay, so this claims it is a Nintendo magazine. Nintendo-magazine. Nintendo magazine. And it says it's free. Please take one. This is the 2025 special issue. We have here the Switch 2 logo, which is the outline of the left Joy-Con. right Joy-Con filled in, and then the big number 2, Nintendo Switch trademark. And the whole cover is Nintendo, bright Nintendo red. Okay, so the first full spread is just telling you that the Switch 2 is available now. Then we have a full page ad for Mario Kart World. Start your engines and race across a sprawling world. So, I'm gonna be honest, I liked Mario Kart World, but not as much as maybe I hoped to. For me, I really, really love Mario Kart 8. Like, I even bought a Wii U for Mario Kart 8. And for me, that game is like one of the best games of all time, so I knew it was going to be difficult for them to top it. But I still feel like this didn't quite hit the mark. I think because of the open world has impacts on the track design that I don't like. Like, I really don't like the highway sections. They're just like too boring and dull compared to the really tightly designed tracks. So, yeah, I'm just gonna move on. Although I like this art. Like, I like the logo. I love a lot of these character outfits, like Peach's traveling outfit with the bow in her hair. I think that's really cute. Same with, what's her name? Pauline. She only has 2 outfits in the game, which was disappointing. Same with Donkey Kong, actually. But, yeah, I do like how Donkey Kong looks here. I prefer how he looks here to how he looks in Bonanza. Oh, and speaking of, so we have a 2-page spread for Donkey Kong Bonanza, DONKEYKYBANANZA. Donkey Kong Bonanza. Smash, explore, bananas. And we have in the center Donkey Kong with Pauline, a young Pauline, riding on his back, punching down. And then some screenshots along the bottom. So I didn't finish this, but I did play it. I thought it was pretty good. Like I said, I didn't feel compelled to finish it, but yeah, I don't know. It felt like it was just missing that little something. But I really liked Donkey Kong and Pauline's sort of like relationship. I thought that was very cute. We have a full page ad for Super Mario Party Jamboree Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Jamboree TV. The biggest Mario Party all together, anytime, anywhere. Okay, so we have a contents page on the left and then some photos showing, I guess, how you can use the Switch 2 on the right. Contents: Nintendo Switch 2 Special Issue, Nintendo Switch 2, Joy-Con 2 controllers, Game Chat, Game Share, games that can be played on Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo Switch 2 games. I know these two things are like slightly different, but the way it's phrased is really funny. Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games. Okay, it's kind of adding to the confusion. Nintendo Classics, console information, Nintendo Switch 2 accessories, virtual game cards, transferring from Nintendo Switch, Q&A, Nintendo Switch app, and specifications. And on the right we have someone attaching a Joy-Con strap, someone plugging or unplugging the Switch 2, someone about to use Game Chat, someone connecting or disconnecting the right Joy-Con, someone holding a Switch 2 Pro controller, and someone using the 2 Joy-Cons in mouse mode. See what's new with Nintendo Nintendo Switch 2 and a giant 2, just to make sure you understand. A richer display that brings your games to life. High definition display, smooth rendering, bigger screen, same thickness. Use the dock to play on a bigger screen. Crisp audio quality and 3D spatial sound. New stand with a freely adjustable viewing angle. Charge comfortably. Larger, faster storage. Joy-Con 2 controllers connect in a snap. HD Rumble 2, more intense, more refined. Bigger SL, SR buttons. Enhanced sticks. A streamlined wrist strap. Oh my gosh. Mouse controls using Joy-Con 2. Different play styles. We have one-handed controls, button controls with mouse controls, or even dual mouse controls. Wow. No desk, no problem. We have here a 2-page spread for Drag X Drive, which is interesting. What's this? C button has entered the chat. Game chat, all together, anytime, anywhere. So that's like a system to let you video chat and voice chat with friends on Nintendo Switch 2. But you can also share your game, so like they can kind of join without needing a copy of the game in some games, although I think that's quite rare. Yeah, here we go, game share. Share the fun online via game chat. Want to let your friends online in on the fun on Nintendo Switch 2? Share compatible games via game chat. That way, you and your friends can play together online, even if only one of you owns a copy. You can also share games with Nintendo Switch players, and you can share your games in person. So here it shows someone with a Nintendo Switch 2 sharing to a Switch 2, a regular Switch, and a Switch Lite. And then just a full page to spread of people playing Nintendo Switch 2. Games that can be played on Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo Switch 2 games, compatible Nintendo Switch games, and Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games. Very straightforward. We have, again, a 2-page spread for Mario Kart World. I will say, I wasn't expecting to like the free roam, but it was a very chill experience. Like if I just put that on in the evening and I was listening to a podcast or YouTube or ASMR, it was kind of nice just to like drive around and collect things. But that didn't make up for the tracks being worse in my opinion. Donkey Kong Bonanza. Welcome to our Drag X Drive, Kirby Air Riders, Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment. The Duskbloods, now this one I'm really excited for. Obviously on Halloween I did a Bloodborne art book video, so very excited for whatever From Software do next. Up to 8 players fight for supremacy among themselves and against challenging foes in this multiplayer action game. Play as the Bloodsworn, a group that has transcended human strength in a battle to obtain first blood. Sounds very Bloodborne-y. And on the right we have Elden Ring. Explore treacherous dungeons and face epic boss battles across this action RPG set in an authentic dark fantasy world. Elden Ring Tarnished Edition on Nintendo Switch 2 includes the base game, Shadow of the Erd Tree, and new weapons, armor, torrent skins, and more. So again, I probably won't pick this one up on Switch 2 because I played it to completion on Steam and Steam Deck, but what an amazing game, Elden Ring. Same with this one actually, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. Master Sword as he arrives in the bustling city of Midgar. Experience Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, the critically acclaimed, award-winning reimagining of one of the most iconic games of all time. I feel like it should specify that this is part 1 somewhere, but it's okay. And lastly, at the bottom, we have Bravely Default Flying Fury HD Remaster. Follow 4 Warriors of Light on a journey to restore the elemental crystals in the HD remaster of the classic Nintendo 3DS RPG. Experience new depth of classic turn-based battles with the introduction of the Brave and Default system, featuring an array of options to customize your characters with over 20 unique jobs. Cyberpunk 2077, that's another good one. Hades 2, I'll maybe get to that one day. Kunitsugami, I heard good things, but it looked a little complicated to me. 2 Point Museum, I got that for my friend's birthday. I think he was quite happy. Star Wars Outlaws, that one's kind of like, I'll maybe play it one day. I really liked, I say liked, but yeah, I had like a very short couple of years where I was like super into Star Wars, and then I saw The Rise of Skywalker, and I hated it. Deltarune, I loved Undertale, but I haven't started Deltarune yet. Wild Hearts S, that's another interesting one. Kinda like Monster Hunter. And I do like the name of this, Reanimal. Oh my gosh, Puyo Puyo Tetris is amazing. Silk Song. No Sleep for Kaname Date from AI The Somnium Files. I have the first 2 games, but I haven't got around to playing them yet, but I really want to. Raidu Remastered, The Mystery of the Soulless Army. I have that, but I haven't played it yet. Okay, so we have Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games. We have a 2-page spread about the updated Breath of the Wild Nintendo Switch 2 Edition and that expansion for Breath of the Wild. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I'm not sure about this one, but I'll probably pick it up. We'll see. It looks kind of, I don't know, looks interesting. Pokemon Z-A Legends. This one, I'm so conflicted, because I really, really did not like Scarlet and Violet. I felt like they were so good on paper, but what they actually, like, sold was just shocking, and they didn't really make it right. I know they released, like, a free update on the Switch too, but I think it's ridiculous to be like, yeah, we'll fix the games if you give us £450. And they were still selling DLC. Yeah, just not good. I have heard good things about Guardians of Azuma though, Rune Factory. Nintendo Switch 2, an online expansion pack, Nintendo GameCube. So this is like emulation, back compatibility, so you can play Wind Waker, The Legend of Zelda, Soul Calibur 2, and F-Zero GX. I think in the time since they've added a couple extra games. Even more classic games. So you've got the Nintendo Entertainment System, NES, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, Super NES, Game Boy, Nintendo 64, Game Boy Advance, and now Nintendo GameCube. And another 2-page picture of the Switch 2. Some information about the Switch 2 hardware. Some information about the bundles. The accessories. Virtual game cards. I'm not gonna get into those. I'll just say Switch app and the specifications for the Nintendo Switch 2 console. And then on the back, we have an ad for Nintendo Today, which is their mobile app that gives you news. Nintendo Fun delivered daily, and then a question block with Mario's hand punching it. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Are there any games you're looking forward to for the rest of the year? I'd love to hear from you. Good night, and I'll see you soon.